What's going on, y'all? Give me about 10 seconds. I just want to make sure. I'm trying to stream both at once, so let's see how this goes. Hold on one second. I'm doing it on YouTube. You guys are the experimenters. Hold on one second. All right, let's grab it. I'm a little lopsided. What's going on? I'm trying to do a double stream. Probably not the best way, and it's all good. What's going on, Graham? What's up, Austin? I'm trying to do a double stream. I've never done this. There's got to be better technology, but you know, I'll figure this out in a second. We're gonna sip on some of that. All right, I'm gonna start my Facebook one in a second. The title for today and the topic is Area 51, setup or a funny joke. All right, let me start the other stream and we'll get into it. This is like triple tasking. This is tough. Let's see. What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a good day. Hope you're having a good week as always. I'm on Facebook and I'm also on YouTube. I'm trying to double stream. We'll see how it works. I wanted to reach both audiences, but story I want to talk about today, guys, is Area 51. Is it a funny joke or is it a setup? I've had a lot of friends. I've seen some of the biggest podcasts in the United States. Some of the biggest music artists have been joking about Area 51. You know, let's rate it. It's funny, it's hilarious, or, you know, it's a big joke. But I really thought about it from the very beginning, and I'm not starting a theory, or I'm not going to act like I know exactly what's going on. I never try to claim anything I don't. But I have my suspicions of why this is happening and why it's so popular in the media, and I don't think it's a joke. We're going to talk about that in a second. I want to wait a minute or two for everyone to get in the live stream. I'm gonna do shout-outs from both channels. First, let me pin this to the top. We got Dalways, what's going on? DM Jackson. Who we got on YouTube? Hold on. We got Aaron. This is what I do on Facebook, guys. If you're on YouTube, I start every stream like this. Man, it looks a little fuzzy. Who we got? Outlaw of Torum, Tommy Fant in the house, Tommy Walker, Trevor Walker. We got Zach Orcutt. We got Terry Graham, Caroline. What's going on, everybody? Scott. Who we got? I can see the whole picture. I know you guys are getting a rare angle on YouTube. Who else we got here? We got Paz, Tulsa Deplorable, appreciate you. Michelle Ricks, what's going on YouTube? We got Mike Feed on YouTube. We got Tina Bailey on YouTube. We got Vamina Boy, Christine, Sally. We got on Facebook, let's see. We got Isabel. We got Sarah in the house. We got, dang, someone gave me a sad face. I pinned something to the top. Someone gave me a crying face. Are we sad today? Someone said just something to take your mind off the Epstein investigation. A lot of possibilities. We're going to get into them. Let's see who else we got. We got Titan. We got Deborah. We got Ryan Argyle. We got Amanda Tesser. I appreciate you guys' support so much. Laura Garcia, what's going on? We got Tommy Bolander. We got Jason Paul. We got Justin Bell. What's going on, Justin? Good to see you. Kevin Cleveland Brown. That's a character from a show. That's not a real person, but you get the shout out anyway. We got Roy Dale Fox in the house. Sylvia. We got Dan said, smash that like button. Don't hit it too hard. You might break your laptop. Just kidding. Michael Zampino. Nelson Ackerman on YouTube. Oahu in the house. We got Oklahoma in the house. We got Boone Lieb. Thank you, Sarah. I'll give you a quick update on my foot. A lot of people have been asking, and then we'll get into it. First off, I want to say I'm working on a live show. I've been telling you guys, sign up to my free email list, because then I'll tell you when my first show is. It's going to be a live show, and then we're going to go around the country, do some cool stuff, get some discussions, really outside the box stuff. Also, my foot. I went to a podiatrist yesterday, for those who keep asking, and I fractured a little bone in my foot. The bad news is 4 more weeks that I won't be able to really walk, which is very tough. The good news is it seems like it's not permanently damaged, so I'll take that win. I'd rather it not be permanently damaged, but everyone keeps asking, so I figured I'd win on that first. All right, so Area 51. I saw this on YouTube. I'm not trying to, just Joe Rogan was talking about it, you know, making jokes about it, or maybe it was his offshoot. Instagram, you had Lil Nas, who's one of the biggest rappers in the United States. He's got the number one single in the world. Very big names. You know, all of my friends getting behind the Area 51 stuff, making jokes here, there. I'm all for funny jokes, but it started with a Facebook group, and they said, you know, we're going to raid Area 51. And the timing of it is very, very suspicious to me. People said the Epstein thing. Of course, the media's barely talking about that. I mean, it got talked about a fair amount. I will say they've talked about it. But what I'm thinking is, just a couple days ago, someone raided a radical, raided the ICE facility, one of the ICE facilities in the United States, and brought a bunch of explosives and got killed by whoever was there, for trying to kill them. This just happened, and this got absolutely no media coverage. When somebody shoots up a mosque in New Zealand, it gets nonstop media coverage here, and they try to blame the United States, even though it had nothing to do with it. I'm not saying I want every mosque, shooting to have coverage. I want every Christian shooting, every Jewish shooting to have coverage. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is when it's a left-wing situation or something that they can't spin to demonize the right wing with, or a group that they want to demonize, then all of a sudden they don't talk about it. So it's a pretty big deal that somebody went to kill United States citizens, of course, the people that the news doesn't care about. That just happened 3 days ago. Somebody literally raided a United States facility and tried to kill people and ended up getting killed. So now you have, and I know maybe that happened after that the Facebook post, but now you have 500,000 people who are claiming that they're going to raid Area 51, which is, of course, a government facility. I've been saying since the jump, there's things that aren't funny to joke about, like raiding a government facility, making a Facebook post saying 1 million. That's not really that funny to me. Like, I get it, haha, aliens, let's try to figure it out. But I'm like, people are like, what do you think about Area 51? I said, you're going to get killed if you go to Area 51. You're going to get shot by the U.S. government, whether it's as a joke. You can't joke about raiding the White House. You can't really joke about raiding, big banks or anything. You could say, I don't agree with the Federal Reserve on their interest rates, and you could do activism, but you can't really talk about or organize a group to raid a United States facility. And I just think it's very, very strange timing. Of course, there's the Epstein case. There's always a topic, but I want to quote Malcolm X. I think Jim Morrison had a similar quote, but he said, the media controls the mind of the masses. They have the ability to make the guilty look innocent and the innocent look guilty. And they have the ability also to cover any story. If it's a tragedy that goes in their favor, they'll talk about it for 2 years. They're still talking about Charlottesville. If somebody raids an ICE facility, the story is gone tomorrow. What happened in New Mexico a few months ago, if you guys remember, it was a radical guy whose dad was connected to 9/11, who was radicalizing children to commit mass shootings. This was like a huge story in Taos, New Mexico. So that died down almost immediately. So my question is, in the same week, well, first of all, not a question, but a statement is, the media has the power to make any small story huge, any huge story small. It's literally, pure wizardry, for lack of a better term. They can silence any story, create any diversion. And it's a pretty big deal that somebody got radicalized, in my opinion. And I'm not one to blame others, because I know I get blamed for stuff I have nothing to do with. I think they got radicalized by politicians. You have a bunch of very well-known politicians saying there's concentration camps at the border. There's concentration camps at the border. You have CNN, MSNBC saying, oh my God, what they're doing is worse than what they did in Nazi Germany. Obviously, it's not true. There is real slavery in the United States. Human trafficking is a form of slavery. There's millions of children and young women and men probably who are enslaved sexually and literally all over the world. Libya, which Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton helped to screw up, there's literal slavery there. It's mainstream news. Everyone's talking about it. Slavery, organ harvesting. They're selling people for $500. There is real slavery. Real slavery is not Mexican people coming to the border illegally and then getting detained before they get sent back or maybe get a court case. That's not real slavery. But when you constantly tell people it is, people freak out like that guy, and then they go shoot up an ICE. Oh my God, they're enslaved. No, these are, first of all, and not that race matters to me, but they act like they love Hispanics. I say it all the time. 51%, according to a lot of reports, of ICE agents are Hispanic. So those are the Hispanics who come here legally to try to do their job, work for the government, protect the border against people coming here illegally, save lives. ICE saves hundreds of lives from human trafficking and all sorts of stuff. 70%, according to some reports, of the people coming to the border aren't coming with a parent. It's not their parent, and the ones that are, it's like 1/3 of them are lying. I don't want to get into those statistics, but the point I'm saying is you have literal mainstream media saying, haha, let's get 1 million people to raid a U.S. facility in the same week that they already radicalized somebody to literally raid a facility. So that's the big scoop to me is this a slow run? And I'm not a theorist where I'm not going to say it's 100%. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it's definitely true. I know it's true. I read a white paper. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not 100% sure that it's, what's going on, but I will say with certain topics that happen, it is conditioning one way or another, where it's like, if we can get people to do this or to think this, then we can get them to do this and we can get them to do that. I want to give you an example I heard because I was with my buddy today. I got a cup of coffee and he was telling me about this awesome documentary he watched recently where it was talking, maybe one of you guys have seen it. It was talking about the medical industry, how there was a woman who created this whole company in the medical industry. And her big thing was she said she had technology that she actually didn't. She got all sorts of investors, government, everybody was involved in this technology and this science, thinking that they'd be able to save lives. But in the end, the entire technology ended up being a total fraud. So this whole big scientific company turned out to be a fraud. And I told my buddy, because I was like, that sounds awesome. Maybe I'll check it out. I'm not a big documentary watcher, but I was saying, these type of documentaries, I don't watch TV. I'm not trying to be a loser or lame because I have my own habits like everybody else. I'm not perfect. I have stupid things I waste my time on. But I don't watch television at all. I don't watch movies at all. I don't watch mainstream documentaries that much because I know what they're thinking. So, of course, that's probably true that she had a company that was, scientific and fake. But here's the thing. You look at that and they make you say, whoa, that's so crazy that happened. I can't believe that one person didn't know. That's widespread. There's a lot of scientific companies that are completely lying about their science. Heck, the whole education industry is basically a complete lie. Now the academic, gold standard, whatever it's called, peer review, the whole peer review system is totally upside down now. They've proven recently that they're so radicalized in their, far left-wingisms that if you take, a lot of Hitler's talking points and you put them to a feminist, they say, oh, this is great, because they think it's from a feminist perspective. You're like, no, this is a radical agenda from the 1900s that you're approving. Point I'm getting to is they put these documentaries there to say, look, this really happened. We're going to twist it a little bit. But now you're going to think that this is the big scoop when it's not really the big scoop. So that's kind of what I'm thinking with Area 51. Of course, it's a diversion. Of course, there's real government facilities that are being raided. But it's also, I think, in a way, not just a diversion, but a test. It's like, can we get 100,000 people to do this? Can we start slowly convincing people? Turn them against ICE. Turn them against Area 51. I would love to see what's in Area 51. I totally think they lied about Roswell, New Mexico. Absolutely. I'm not doubting that for a second. But they're like, okay, well, we got somebody we radicalized somebody who started attacking ICE agents and started, trying to explode people. Now, can we get people to organize and do certain things? And if we could do that, what else can we get people to do? Or else, I don't want to be the person who's like always overthinking things, but I know from every documentary they put out, there was one recently about how the government, I forget the name of the movie, but it was basically talking about a guy who was working with the government to sell drugs. And the family came out and said, this whole movie, you made us look like we were dirt poor. My brother was wealthy and dealing with wealthy people. And the reason that they changed that in the movie, it's a big detail. If you make them look poor in the based on a true story movie, then people say, oh, he was just this one-off guy. He was just a poor guy that just did that. No, he was dealing with the top of the top of the top. They manipulate almost every mainstream movie that they put out. And if they don't, they'll try to get it shut down. So with Area 51, yes, they're covering up a lot of stuff going on. Yes, there was an actual attack on a government facility, which is eerily similar to what they're trying to make people do. 2, 3, I wouldn't joke about that stuff, honestly, because I'm all for free speech. I understand it's a meme. I'm just saying this. I'm all for free speech. I don't like threats, and also, the threat to raid a facility seems like a bad idea. You could say, I want to protest Area 51. I want to go out there and protest what's in. But anytime you normalize, that's where, in my personal perspective, free speech ends. When you organize a literal raiding or doing something illegally and you're planning it, Yeah, someone said the movie was called White Boy Rick. Exactly. Google White Boy Rick or DuckDuckGo, Bing, whatever. What is it? White Boy Rick family. His family came out and said he wasn't poor, but you make him poor in the movie because then it seems like he's just a loser as opposed to dealing with, head honchos in the game. So that's kind of the stuff. But I get that it's a joke and a meme, but we have to draw the line of, what we're talking about, where we're putting our energy. And also, I don't know. It's like, I think if you take that, then you could joke about raiding the White House, you know, and then people are going to do what they did at the ICE thing and start, you know, trying to explode US citizens. So it's like, let's think about it. What do you guys think? Yeah, of course. And if you get 1,000 people even, or 2,000 to raid a government facility, they'll get murdered just like that. You can't, I was like, I wouldn't joke about that stuff, honestly. That's the type of stuff that gets your house raided. Someone said over dramatic. Who, me or other people? I don't know. Let's see what you guys are talking about. I want to hear other perspectives. But my big scoop from it wasn't even like, what are they doing? You know, are they trying to get people killed? That is true. But in the same week, get what I'm saying? In the same week that somebody already raided a government facility with explosives, that's the big scoop. And all the the biggest artists, music artists in the world is joking about it and talking about it. And celebrities are like, haha, I'm involved. Little sketchy. That's all I'm going to say. And yeah, we'll see what you guys are talking about. They should let the media in. We'll see. I want to read some comments from you guys now, because those are my thoughts. I was like, yes, a lot of people think it's covering up Epstein. You know, some people think it's covering up. Yeah, we'll see. And I really wanted to drive that point home too while we're on it before people ask questions. Someone said, Kevin, I'm from Detroit. I'm totally familiar with White Boy Rick. Every movie, like you could look at the movie Chernobyl. I knew before, I always now I check out the director and I check out the executive producer. I knew before Chernobyl, I heard my friend talking about it. I said, how was it out on the street? And he said, it was this, it was that. He was telling me, you know, it made like the KGB look really bad and Russia look really bad. And I was like, for sure, for sure. And then I was like, I guarantee you, the creator or the executive producer, I guarantee they have a political agenda. That's all I'm going to say. So I go and I say, who created Chernobyl? That's the biggest documentary in the world right now, or Showtime, whatever it is, HBO, I think. So the creator of it is Ted Cruz's college roommate. Who would have guessed? This is a guy who can't stand, and I'm not, you know, knocking his work or anything. I haven't even seen it. But he's somebody who constantly calls out Ted Cruz. He seems very liberal. Can't stand Ted Cruz. So coincidence, yeah, of course. One of the biggest executive producers on the project is a woman, a liberal Jewish woman from Los Angeles, which is fine. But she was one of a certain amount of people who pushed for Obama to do the Iran deal. So you have somebody who wrote a letter to Obama in some sort of big organization that it made Wikipedia, telling him to go into the Iran deal, and the executive producer is, you get what I'm saying? These things are just not random. I would look up the executive producer, I would look up the creator and be like, there was one show, I forget what it was called, maybe The Americans. It was talking about Russia, United States. The writer of it was an ex-CIA guy. I'm not saying to not watch it, or not, but it's like people think they're watching the truth. They're like, dude, the guy who wrote it, you know, it's so obvious. So a lot of that type of stuff. When you own Facebook, Google, Twitter, and you know, all of these media organizations, basically, even stuff Fox News won't talk about, but maybe you'll hear something on Fox News. You can control anything. Literally 10 million people can be enslaved, and you can ignore that, and you can make an ICE agent who's most likely a legal Hispanic doing work for the country. You can make them look like the devil, and you can make a human trafficker look like an angel. That's how powerful the media is. Jim Morrison warned us. Malcolm X warned us. Every legend in history. It's no joke. I get it. I like to watch YouTube videos. I used to like to watch TV. I like comedians. You know, I'm not trying to be a downer, but I think people overlook, like, nah, it's just a documentary. It's just a movie. You know, it's just a song. But it's like, that's how powerful it is. I can literally be like, I mean, they can make night look like day look like night, an angel look like a devil look like an angel. And right now, we know that 90% or so, if you add in Google and Twitter, I mean, probably 95, 98% of the media power is all going in one direction. How long before Facebook shuts me down? I have no idea. But I have a Instagram account, and multiple people, 3, 4, 5, 6 people hit me up today and say, I can't like your post. I can't like your post. Someone said, my son, I'm going to read that real quick. Susan said, my son is military and they don't take anything lightly. They're there to protect the country at all costs. These people better think twice. Absolutely. And especially when you say you got 1 million people that are planning to raid, that's no joke. Like to you, it's funny, but to someone on the front lines or at Area 51, it's like, strap up. We're getting the tanks. Like, we're shooting anyone on site who comes. So you gotta watch what you joke about. Like, you can't joke about bombing the White House. Like, that's not a joke. You get what I'm saying? That's not. Although Madonna did it just fine. So people, I'm a fun guy. I'm a free speech guy, but that's exactly where I draw the line. Calls to violence, literal calls to violence, and death threats, and also threats to do something illegal. It's not the play. Thank you, Z. I got $1 super chat. Google's gonna take 30% of that, so that's 70 cents. That's fine though. Thank you, Z. All right, we're gonna answer some questions. Let's see. The truth say whoever controls the media controls the minds. Jim Morrison. Yep, Jim Morrison knew. Malcolm X knew. I love Malcolm X's quotes. People are like, how dare you share Malcolm X? He said the media controls the minds of the masses. They have the power to make the guilty look innocent and the innocent look guilty. That's power. And then he also said, they have, I forget, he has 2 ways of saying it, but Malcolm X's is a great. Doug said, can you comment on my question? I didn't see it. Smith said you are not the anomaly. Okay, Smith. It's debatable. Anomaly, they yanked the live seat of Senator Cruz. They're going overdrive, guys. They really want to win this election really bad, but they're not going to. It's really sad. What you were saying was prophesized 2,000 years ago. Good and evil is good. Yeah, it's inversion, and unfortunately, that's where they're at. But I'm working on it. I'm trying to do live events. I want to do discussion. Someone said to me earlier, they said, Anomaly, you're wrong about climate change. I said, my brother, email me. I'm trying to have a debate and a discussion. I want my audience to hear your talking points that I don't talk about. And I also want your audience to hear what I'm talking about, because they probably don't know that, volcanoes exist under ice glaciers that are melting. They probably don't know that NASA's own data says that they only measure the coastlines of Antarctica and they can't measure the snowfall. So they literally, a majority of the continent, they have no idea what's going on. That's NASA. So like, I want to share this information. Let's see. Thank you, Abel. Appreciate you. Someone said most of these YouTubers are agents. Are you? No, but also I want to say there probably obviously are some agents. I'm not going to sit here and say there's no agents. There's agencies all over the world, but not everyone's an agent. Like, some people just disagree with you. It's a little ridiculous. Like, I've got called every name under the book. If you're not far enough one way, they're like, oh my God, you're an agent. I would say the amount of, hold on, I'm looking for my kombucha. Where'd it go? The amount of agents that there are is probably much less than you guys think. You guys literally call everybody an agent. They're like, oh my God, he said something I don't agree with, they're an agent. It's like, I don't know about that. So it says Cortez a space vampire. It's funny, this is a big test. They always say with the internet, don't tell people not to do something. Like, streams ago, I said, stop calling Cortez a vampire on my stream, stop talking about her. And now every stream, the guy says, is Cortez a vampire? It's pretty funny, I'll give you that. It's hilarious. Someone says, I'm an agent for my Lord Savior, Jesus Christ. Nice. Is the couch still for sale? It never was. It's been 80 years and they can't correctly measure. Most people are just speaking their own opinions. Let's see. You guys got any questions or good comments? I'm going to try to share. Jonestown Autopsy says, Maxine Water, he super chatted to say Maxine Waters Halloween costumes selling on Amazon. It's good to know that. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people just foaming at the mouth to be Maxine Waters for Halloween. Someone said, won't an agent act like they agree? I mean, there's people who work with specific agendas, that's obvious, but I think I'm pretty transparent as far as like what I believe. And I don't know, if I was an agent, I would think that like somebody would have me at an event, like Fox News doesn't book. No one even has me on television. So Fedu Cisco said, Anomaly, you're the best. I like Trump. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that super chat. That's why I did the YouTube thing. I was like, let me try to double stream. It's working. We had 1,200 people on Facebook and we got 400 people on YouTube. We'll see what happens. What's your zodiac sign? I'm a Libra. All right. Someone said I'm in the middle. I get attacked by the left and the right. For sure. One thing I keep bringing up, and I don't mean to harp on it, but anytime people tell me not to say something on the right wing, it emboldens me to say it more, because I was like, this is what people need to hear. I'm like I said, death threats or threats to do something illegal. I'm against that completely. But when it comes to free speech, I'm very pro free speech. I don't care if it comes from the right wing or the left wing. So what I've been saying a lot, and I got a lot of backlash today on Twitter, is yes, the left wing is censoring almost everything. Facebook, YouTube, Google, I mean, you name it, they're trying to censor and say that hate speech. But also, I've been saying that on the right wing, Ted Cruz and Ron DeSantis, they're trying to, I'm going to do a whole video about this tomorrow. It's going to be hilarious. I'm going to do 5 of the funniest, most ridiculous things in politics. I'm excited. But I said months ago, Ted Cruz tried to pass a condemnation to Ilhan Omar. He tried to pass it through whatever, the Congress. And by the time it got done, I said, don't pass it. We don't need a condemnation. Just call her out. You know, say what she's doing. Don't put anti-free speech legislation. By the time it got passed through, it had anti-this, anti-that, anti-this. It turned into an SJW bill. That was Ted Cruz, or resolution. Now it's firing back at the Republicans. And the Republicans are like, what? Trump's not racist. Then don't pass these things yourself. Like 2 months ago, you set up for it. Same with Ben Garrison. He called the New York Times cartoon anti-Semitic 3 months ago, and now he can't go to the White House because his cartoon's deemed anti-Semitic. That's the thing. Ron DeSantis passed an anti-Semitism bill in Florida. It's not that I want people who hate Jews to be thriving, but I understand the difference. What is anti-Semitism? To some people, it's criticism of the Rothschilds and Soros. For some people, it's disagreeing with Israel on something. Like, there is no definition, so you don't want to pass laws. So that's kind of what I've been harping on a lot these last couple of weeks, because it's so interesting that nobody cares when the right wing passes stuff. But I'm not saying this. I've had discussions of someone that was pro-Israel and someone who was, anti-Israel or pro-Palestine. That's a tough combo to have, but I'm trying to facilitate the discussions. I know it's not all black and white, but you got to really watch with the anti-free speech legislation and the condemnations of racism. Be very pinpoint with it, or else it's going to backfire. So it's Area 51 is a distraction. I'm reading. Let's see. This trips me out having like all these things in my face. I'm gonna have to get used to it. Someone said you're an American. You have reasonable with an open mind. I just really think the First Amendment and the Second Amendment are what really saves our country. With no free speech, everything else goes. And that's how they get in. You have to understand the left wing. And I said this to somebody too. I want to repeat it, then we'll get into other things. Hold on, I'm going to read a super chat. Bend over, Beto Buttigieg is back on the rise. All right, thank you for that super chat. Unnecessary, but kind of funny. The left wing doesn't think they're censoring free speech. What they think they're doing is, saving people from bad stuff. The right wing, it's the same thing. You don't think you're censoring people. You think you're stopping bad people. It's the same philosophy. And Noam Chomsky said before he turned into a low-energy Jeb Bush, he made a good statement, which is you don't believe in free speech unless you're protecting the speech you don't agree with. If you're only right-wing and you only want to protect the speech you do agree with, and then you're left-wing and you only want to protect the speech you do agree with, you're not really a pro-free speecher. And for some reason, conservatives and liberals have become so weak that that's a controversial statement. I'm a rebel now because I'm like, guys, that's like the definition of free speech. How's it going, man? I'm blessed. I can't complain. I'm pretty pumped that it looks like my foot is not going to be permanently damaged, but I'm a little bummed that it's fractured, so it's going to take a while to heal. But I'm happy. I just didn't want it to be permanently damaged. I could deal with it. It sucks though, because I like to be really active with the videos, and it's slowing me down not being able to walk. And you know me, I make videos all the time, so it's all good though. I could cry about it later. Cry me a river, yeah, cry me a river. Anomaly cry. Let's see. I have a good video for tomorrow, guys. Be on the lookout for it. I'm going to film it probably today and edit it. I have the 5, like there's so much, it's such a circus in politics right now. Even Trump, I'm not, like I always say I like Trump, but he's kind of just turned it into a little circus this week. I have to say it's one of the goofiest weeks of the year. So I'm going to do a 5 most ridiculous hypocrisies and goofiness. I'm pumped. I have 5 really funny things. I can't tell you guys though. I can't tell you. Jeff said free speech is the most important thing we need to keep. 1,000%. So I'll take the heat from conservatives. I'll get called all sorts of names. People were pissed on my Twitter. I was like, yikes. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to scream. But maybe I could have said it in a different way too. Thank you, Don. We got James. We got Kirk. We got Jim. Someone said, what's your view on anarcho-capitalism? I would have to look more into it. I've only roughly heard the term. First time with you live. What's up, Viao? Did I say it right? Viao? Someone said, clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. I'm stuck in the middle. That's pretty funny. Sounds like a... I have my piano. I could... Oh, no, it's not plugged in. Never mind. False alarm. I tried to play a song yesterday. It was pretty awful. I'm going to read that. If aliens did crash on Earth, do you think... What does it say? If aliens did crash on Earth, do you think it would still be at Area 51 if there was ever an Area 51 to begin with? Something happened at Area 51, but that's what I'm saying about the documentary. Like, the big scoop, in my opinion, is not that like one company lied one time. Literally, the company that owns Monsanto, that bought Monsanto for tens of billions of dollars, was a company that dates back to Nazi Germany and used to kill people. And now they own our food supply. Like, that's the big story people need to talk about. So it's like, did something happen at Area 51? Absolutely. But in the science community, the amount of lying going on, it's like, to me, that's, who cares? Like, I've heard stories of technology at Area 51, but it's like, same with the Trump stuff. I'm like, yo, show me the facts. I'm so confused. Sama said, is Trump winning in 2020? I think so. But I do actually, I do agree. Like, now that Trump made a whole spectacle of this, it's like, dude, you didn't have to do this. But at the same time, I'm not a hater. I get it. You know, Trump's Trump. He's gonna sauce it up a little bit. It's just such a circus this week. It's kind of embarrassing. Jonestown Autopsy. That's an interesting name. Super chatted and said, Don Lemon's fingers smell like poop. Jonestown Autopsy. That's his perspective, not mine. And I read all the super chats on YouTube when people donate. So thank you for that one. I'm sure some people appreciated it. Others not so much. Laura said, grow your own food. I feel you, Teresa. Jed said it got moved to Vermont. What are we saying? Someone said, do you think Donald Trump will go to Area 51 before he leaves office? Listen, I've supported Trump. I like Trump, but I'm not putting all my faith in Trump. I always say, and I'm not trying to be a hater, but like, Trump's already done. I had no expectations for him. He's already blown past my expectations. But don't look. I mean, you could do what you want, but I would say don't put your faith in a politician or even a businessman president. He can only do so much. He's doing a great job, but like with the Space Force and that stuff, I'm like, I love Trump, but I'm like, dude, are you really going to space or not? Like, I feel like he's all hyped up to go to space. We haven't gone since 1969. They're like, dude, calm down, Trump. We can't really go. All jokes aside, not really a joke, but you get what I'm saying? There's things that I don't agree with him sometimes about, and there's things that I'm like, just show me what's cracking, boss. I almost said boy. Someone said Epstein moved all the aliens to his island. That's good. That's funny. Epstein moved all the aliens to his island. Mike A. Someone said, being from California and your views, how are you being treated? I would say mostly fine, honestly. In person, I'm easy to talk to. I'm not gonna like jam my views down your throat. And also, I look for common ground. And most people just don't know. That's why I always say to, especially conservatives, like, a lot of conservatives only talk to themselves and they only talk to people who agree with them, and they're too filled with anger and hate. So a lot of, like, I'll give you an example. Never mind. I don't want to do it. I'm going to do it in the video tomorrow. But a lot of people don't know what they're like. They don't like government, but they want big government because nobody's you gotta be chill. So overall, I would say it doesn't really affect me, but you also have to understand with me, I've been talking about conspiracy theories since I was in 2008. So I pretty much blacklisted myself from the music community already, and I don't rely on anybody. I work for myself, so it's like I could care less what people think. They don't pay me until Facebook and PayPal takes my money away. All right, I'm gonna read these two super chats. Hold on. Oh, Julia Lewis, thank you. She didn't say anything. She just gave. Art Nelson said Trump's a racist. They've never said that before. It's true. It's a very new claim. We should investigate it for a year. Are people really pooping in the streets of California? That is true, yeah. There's a lot of the people who are homeless, they're not looking for a job or help. A lot of them are crackheads or they're, and on serious drugs. So that leads them to poop on the streets of California sometimes. Poopy. Poop's a funny word. Golden Memes, that's a hilarious name. I like that. Thoughts on Phoenix, Arizona as a place to live in? I've never been there, but I'm sure it's awesome. I've heard great things about Arizona, and also I always say, because people are like, how are you in California? You got to make the most of where you are. There's pros and cons everywhere. If you're in the country, the pros are beautiful. You know, the cons are not accessible to a lot of stuff. You know, it's like you got to love where you live where you love, and make the most of where you're at. And if you want to leave, figure out a way to leave. You know, make it happen. But I'm not a hater of anywhere. Not a Republican, not a Democrat. That sounds racist. Who said that? Who said they're neither a Republican or Democrat? Sounds like what a racist would. You know, it's pathetic. The Libertarian Party, no offense, but they had on Twitter, they were like, we condemn bigotry of all forms. I was like, whoa, cool. You can, like, they just said the most broad statement. I said on Twitter last week, and I mean it, there could be a third party that could win. You could do what Trump does. You could do what the Democrats do. A third party could win. It's just the Green Party has pathetic leadership and a bad social media strategy. And the Libertarian Party, as much as I love libertarianism, has very, very pathetic social media and leadership. I like Gary Johnson. I'm sure he's a great guy, but it's like, my man's is he's no Trump. Someone said Republicrat sounds racist. Everything is Trump's fault, including the earthquakes, for sure. I lived in Phoenix for a while. It's a good city, said Amy. That's cool. When you come into Canada, I'll be in Canada actually sooner than later, but only for a day. I'm not going to really explain why, but if things go well in the States, I'll come to Canada until Justin Trudeau kicks me out. We're starting with this venue in America. If you're in Los Angeles or California or near, come to it. If it goes well, I could take the show on the road, and I promise you, it's going to be entertaining and it's going to be different. I'm not just going to get there. No offense to others, but I'm not just going to get there and be like, build a wall, build a wall. Like, we're going to have some real discussions. We're going to have a conversation. There's going to be a town hall. So people in the audience, you could ask questions and say what you want to say. It's going to be a real vibe. You guys know me. Someone said Ron Paul 2024. I like Ron Paul, but he's a little too Ron Paul-y to be president and probably too old now. Sorry, I don't mean to be ageist, but Ron Paul had a shot. I like Ron Paul, don't get me wrong. The funniest thing, if you look it up, it's like they probably deleted it, but it was him on Bill Maher. Bill Maher's like, but you said this, and Ron Paul's like, well, this is the truth. And then Bill Maher's like, but Ron, what about this? And Ron's like, well, and he's like, the Federal Reserve, and like, anyway. Ron Paul just demolished Bill Maher. Everything he switched 6 times. He's like, well, what about that? Like, literally, it was just Ron Paul just bang, bang, bang. It was awesome. Black Sun Reality said, if Area 51 is the 51st area, how many areas are there total for real, though? It's a good question. I like that. It's true. I read, too, on Wikipedia, which is the source of all truth. No, I'm just kidding. But on Wikipedia, they said that Area 51, they never admitted it until they had to. It was like some sort of like transparency thing passed, and they had to admit Area 51 was real. They had never admitted it until the 2000s. Someone said, I wish Ross Perot could have been president. He was before my time. I don't know much about Ross Perot, but I heard he was a vibe. What do you think of Dan Crenshaw? I think his domestic policy is awesome. I think some of his perspective is awesome. I think Dan Crenshaw is a very good communicator. He's very powerful for the Republican Party, but I don't like his foreign policy at all. And I don't like that a lot of these Republicans I don't mind if you're super pro-Israel. That doesn't bother me at all. But all the pro-Israel Republicans, which is most of them in the United States, they always want to play along with this speech legislation. They want to call America. This is the weird thing. It's like, if someone drew a Muhammad cartoon and a Muslim freaked out, I'm not cool with that, especially if they got violent. That's not cool. But it should be, Christians shouldn't freak out about Christian cartoons, and Republicans shouldn't freak out about cartoons about Jewish people. So it's like the Dan Crenshaws and the Ted Cruzes, they do a lot of good stuff, but I'm very pro free speech, and you got to understand when it comes to hate speech, it's better to just like have like freedom of religion, do certain things, but they pass these things and they end up backfiring. Obviously, I don't support racism, sexism, and xenophobia and anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. I do think a lot of, right wingers do literally hate Islam. I do think a lot of people literally do hate Jews. I think a lot of people hate Christians. But just be very careful with the speech regulation. That's all I would say to Crenshaw and them, because it's eventually going to swallow you up. My buddy Andrew Mayer, who's Jewish, got called a white nationalist, and he's like, "What are you talking about?" It's like nothing matters anymore because everybody keeps exaggerating about that stuff. Anomaly, did you see the Italians deport all those Muslims? What are your thoughts? I'd have to look in on it to really speak on it, but I know that Salvini won in Italy. He's more right-wing. They took a lot of refugees and they caused a lot of problems. And I want to remind people too, you have to understand, I mean, you could feel how you want to feel, but the problem is not all Muslim countries. The problem is not all Muslims. Like, people who say that, I think that is very disrespectful and rude. I don't agree with that at all. I know some great people myself of that faith. However, these refugees that came into Italy and Germany and stuff, they weren't really real refugees. A lot of them weren't even from the countries they said they were. So that's why immigration, you got to be very careful on it. It's why when we go to other countries, we have a passport. They check who we are because they don't want some criminal or something coming to their country. That's just the truth of it. So when it comes to our country, Italy, they did a horrible job, I think because of the UN or whatever. They're like, let's just close our eyes and roll the dice. It's like, let's not. Let's see what y'all are talking about. Facebook and Twitter are already aware of the numbers who support Trump. Guys, they have everything. I mean, these companies have everything. That's why it's so hilarious that they keep losing. It's like, how far are y'all going to go? Someone said, let's Coachella. No, let's not. The ceiling art is weird. I mean, sorry, you're on an angle too. If you saw the setup, it's actually hilarious. I have you on my hamper and the computer's like sideways. Oh, I'm going to try to read that. Anomaly, I've read a 2015 article saying 16 states ban Sharia law, but there's nothing current about this. I think states should do this. See, here's the thing. I don't even think states should ban Sharia law. Just follow the laws of the United States. You get what I'm saying? Free speech, Second Amendment. You could have, but you don't need a law to stop Sharia law. Just don't enact the bad policies or the anti-American policies in that. You get what I'm saying? You don't need an anti-Sharia law state thing. It's like, just don't give up free speech, because then if you give up free speech, that's that's my thoughts. Someone said, thoughts on Eric July. Is Eric July the hardcore singer who's like a super libertarian? Is that who Eric July is? I think I see his tweets on Twitter sometimes, and I like him. He's always cursing at people and talking about libertarianism. He's a vibe. I like Eric July, if that's him. Someone said after 9/11, it became hard to cross the border of U.S. into Canada. It should be. It shouldn't be easy. I actually got detained last time. When I came off my cruise boat, what was it, the DEA or somebody? Not the DEA. I don't know. The customs, the Homeland Security, like pulled me aside. I thought they were gonna punch me in the stomach or something. Be like, you make YouTube videos? I got out okay, but it was pretty creepy. But I'm not crying. It's a vibe. They want I treat individuals in mental health who you don't need to make a whole doctrine of religion illegal in a country. It's just like, if free speech is American and that thing doesn't have free speech involved, then it can't come. Someone said, ugh, anomaly. What? What'd I do? Do you get what I'm saying though? I'm not saying I'm pro for the laws, but you don't need a law to say don't do this whole policy, because that policy, Sharia law, is however many different things, 40 different things. You don't need none of that. Just don't. Oh, my light turned off. It's okay. Just don't do just if it's anti-free speech, don't let that. If it's female genital mutilation, don't allow that. You don't need a broad term like none of that law. It's unnecessary. Simian Cave Creature. That's a hilarious name. You guys are ridiculous on YouTube. My YouTube following is a little more ratchet. Just consider anyone you don't know as a friend until they are not a friend. Not quite sure what you mean. It's like Facebook is my vibe where I'm sitting at like dinner and we're just chilling out, and then YouTube people get ratchet. It's like it gets serious on YouTube. But I'm glad it's fun to have both you guys here. Someone said, "Ah man, I love Jim Bob Owens chatting." Opinion on Native American reservations or solution? I would have to look deeper into that because I have Native American supporters who've told me, there's two sides to that story too. I mean, obviously the history of Native Americans, but I've talked to liberal Native Americans, I've talked to conservative Native Americans, and they have a whole different approach to the situation. So maybe I'll have a discussion about that. Your color's better without the light. Is it better? I'm gonna return this stupid thing. I bought it at like Best Buy for like $100 or $200, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna invest in myself, get a light. This, first of all, look how stupid this is. You gotta stand it up. You can buy a whole new stand for it, but it's flimsy and it'll like fall down. It's the stupidest thing. They're like, trust me, dude. The light is the new future of. I'm like, dude, this is stupid. Just give me a light bulb. Probably be like way cheaper too. As Tro's Rev said, thoughts on Trump's Bitcoin tweet. I mean, I'm iffy about Bitcoin where I support it. I support the blockchain. I'm invested in it, but they don't want people to not go through their banking system. So obviously Bitcoin's a major threat and Trump's a big America guy. I like Bitcoin, but it's inevitable that they're going to swallow that up or try to. So it's to be expected. I don't really agree with it or support it, but I'm not like freaking out about it. I'm like, I like Trump, I don't expect Trump to be a Bitcoin guy. He's in his 70s. He loves America. He understands like the bank, the federal, he's not a Bitcoin guy. I didn't take him to be one. Is this a real raid? You're gonna have to rewind to get all that. Someone said, what do you think of NASA's purchase of rifles? I didn't hear about that. Sony said gold standard. I think Trump's new people want to bring it back to that. How do you stay so chill? I want what you have. I mean, I don't know. I just try to chill. I get intense sometimes, very rarely, but usually when I play sports or like twice a year, I get intense in certain situations. But I don't know. I would say check out Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu as a vibe. Or Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Two books that really made me rethink things. Squad talk. Squad. Rashida Tlaib. AOC. Squad. Bob Ross. Jan said updates on ASAP Rocky. I'm not saying I'm over it, but I hit up my friend who is connected to the ASAP camp. He didn't really answer or take me seriously, so I'm not going to help ASAP Rocky. So that's where I'm at. I'm like, I offered my help. I was going to use my connections to try to get ASAP Rocky out of Swedish prison. I don't have to do that. I just thought it was the right thing to do, and they didn't answer me or take it seriously. So I don't care anymore. I mean, I hope he gets out, but at the same time, it's like, when you say, here, I'll try to get your friend out of prison, I'll talk to the president, and they don't answer, you're like, okay, well, I guess you don't want to get your friend out then. Someone said, I hope you watched Yuri Bezmenov's video, Russian Defector. Yeah, it's a legendary video. I actually have it on the World Cloud page too. I got it over 1 million more views because it's epic. Someone said, money is a fiction. You could say that. Only Bitcoin people are not human. Who said that? That might get you in trouble. They said you can't dehumanize somebody. So if you call someone a snake, they could misinterpret that. Or it's funny. While we could still laugh, we'll laugh at it. Gotta go, bro. All right, I'll see you, Jerry. Thanks for being here. I'm gonna go in like 10 minutes, but we got about 400 people on YouTube. We got 500 people. The YouTube people stay. They like the long streams. Facebook, I do a lot of short stuff. And for people on YouTube, I'll introduce you guys. Facebook, this is YouTube. YouTube, this is Facebook. Facebook chills a little more. YouTube gets a little crazy. Yeah, a lot of people on YouTube say, Anomaly, you should leave Facebook. And I was like, guys, that's where my biggest stuff is. I have like 250 million views, a really great audience until Facebook ruins it. It's like, I actually love Facebook. I like posting, good crowd, good vibes for the most part. There's some crazy people on Facebook too, but that's everywhere, I guess. Deprived Dolphin, yo. What's up with these YouTube names? Deprived Dolphin. This is, hold on, a super chat. I love it. Deprived Dolphin. It reminds me, I used to say provoked penguin when I was young. Anyway, loved and peace, brother. I missed most of your streams, so here's $4.99 to help out. Been following you since your main platform is Facebook. Thanks, Deprived Dolphin. It's still my main platform. Facebook is very powerful. We crush it on Facebook. We get like very high engagement. I don't trust the left, period, said Mike. You don't have to. You do what you want. I'd buy a UFO for 100 Bitcoin. Mike's on fire tonight. Strong move. Terry said, I love the long streams too. Good. We're here. I don't have anything else to do. I can't walk for 4 weeks, so I can't. I'm like, guys, I got better things to do. I actually don't. So just more videos and laying around. Do not leave Facebook. No, I would never. I'm not going to leave Facebook. I'm just going to hopefully not get kicked off. Squad talk, said Rodrigo. Hey, SpaceX is testing the Star Hopper 3 in 3 minutes. Everyone look at YouTube. What is the Star Hopper? Is it one of those rockets that goes up and comes back down? Ace said Anomaly is the greatest. Thank you, Ace. Makes me feel good inside. Linda Diamond. Favorite album right now? Sheesh, I don't listen to albums anymore, just songs. My favorite song right now is that it's an old song. It's called Sunseed, Jesus is My Friend. I don't know if you guys have heard it, but it's like, Jesus is a friend, Jesus. It's like a reggae Jesus song. It's epic. I don't know if it was a #1 song, but it should have been. Charles Wan said, cool to see you doing both again. Wise use of your time. Thank you. Yeah, it's a vibe. It actually worked out better than I thought it was going to. It was a little overwhelming at first. I was like, whoa. There's probably some program that I could stream to everything on, but am I a dog or a cat person? I'm more of a dog person. Damn, dude, I broke my foot a few years back. I have a degree in animation. I made a cartoon. Tia said, what are your take on the Noahide laws? I don't know that much about the Noahide laws, but I know Adam Green has a big video on it. I watched part of it. I didn't watch the whole thing, but he's got some interesting information in there. I don't know. I don't fully understand the whole thing, but there is some interesting stuff on Adam's channel. Jackson said, try mouth moods. What is that? Sounds dirty. Mandy, what's going on? Kirk said, I love my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Swag. Your painting in the back is crooked. Now, my on YouTube, the computer's crooked. I literally have it on my hamper and it's sideways. I'm like, I had to rig it real quick. Can you figure out who I am? No, I have no idea who you are. I mean, what's your take on carbon tax? Obviously a scam. Anytime they say, hey guys, we're going to take your money and we're going to change the climate of the earth, say no. Namely, have you made any videos about what's really going on at the border? I have. I've made a bunch. They're on Facebook. They're probably on YouTube somewhere, but I should make another one, but I've made so many about the border lies. It was like a year ago. I'm just tired of it. I'm like, these people just literally keep finding new lies. I also wanted to say we need to expose the abortion argument. I have a good video on abortion as well. Anomaly has an injured foot. This is true. What do you know about the blue avians? Nothing. What's your take on what's going on in Puerto Rico? Yeah, so it looks like the governor's really corrupt and had a bunch of text messages going out. Of course, it's rarely being talked about. One, because the government, I mean, it's a Democratic, new progressive guy. But I don't know. I mean, I've heard it's very corrupt, and that's all I really know. It's corrupt. Everybody doesn't like them. They're burning stuff. I don't know too much. Someone said UFOs in Puerto Rico. Do I think Trump gets reelected? Yeah. Thoughts on American society? I would say it could always be better. It could always be worse. I definitely see the good aspects of it. I try to be positive. But overall, like my heart and soul tells me that everything is kind of inverted as far as like mainstream society. and the stats of like drug overdose and life expectancy going backwards. It's like unpopular to say good stuff, and it's like very popular to say dumb stuff. It's like smart, bad, dumb, good. But I try not to let it get me down. But I think it's awful what they're doing to children and like people in general. Do you think we talked about, you can rewind for the Area 51 stuff. Sorry if you just came in. When this ends, you could rewind or someone said, I have 6 kids. What's going on with Julian Assange now? I don't know. I haven't heard that much about Julian Assange. Do I play Pokemon Go? No, I used to. Where's my, hold on. Oh, here it is. Beautiful Earth. Oh, dude, that's hilarious. Somebody, Beautiful Earth on YouTube said, do you know who this is? And then Patrick said Beautiful Earth on Facebook. That's pretty funny. Patrick, you win the puzzle of the day prize. You pulled a fast one on me. That's pretty funny. I like that, Patrick. Well done. Well played. Have you and Tim Pool done anything together? No, I haven't. I would love to, but Tim Pool probably doesn't like me because I called him out for saying YouTube was libertarian and meritocratic like 6 months ago. But I like Tim Pool for what it is. I don't know if he likes me, though. It's okay. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't care about me or doesn't know about me. Someone said someone's name on YouTube is Tim Pool is my dealer. SJWs are bullying Chris Pratt again. Not surprised. RT posted today on Julian. I'm sure they did. But RT is demonized by Western media. Puerto Rico used to be paradise on earth before Democrats took over. Wouldn't be surprised. I mean, at the end of the day, I try to be as neutral and fair as I can be about every situation, call out the right when they're being dishonest and all stuff. But dude, all the left-wing policies, when you really think about it, nothing left-wing anymore makes sense. It's all like favor bad people. If you work hard or you're a taxpayer or you're a citizen, they treat you like absolute dirt. And if you're an illegal, if you're breaking in, it's like their whole platform is upside down. Even with like the welfare program, they incentivize not having a husband and having a bunch of kids. So obviously when you give people more money for not having a husband and more money for not having kids, you're going to have mothers who have 8 and 9 kids because they're trying to get more money. It's awful. It's not certain people's fault on welfare. Welfare saves something, but the system is stupid. So I'm sure when Puerto Rico, I don't know what it was like under Republicans because a lot of them are fake and weak. But like the left is just awful. It makes everything worse. Not everything. It's like you get a win now. Even with like a marijuana, for example, I'll give you an example. People are like, well, because I'd be like, well, they legalize stuff. I do think certain things should be legalized in some way. But when Democrats legalize marijuana in the United States, you talk to weed people, what they do is start putting all these regulations on it and controlling, and they actually make it harder to grow for yourself. It's big government. Big government control over drugs, big government control over health. I want to end the drug war, but when Democrats do it, they always control. They're control freaks. That's why they hate, like they want everything. They want your money, they want the power, they want the health industry, they want it all. And then right wing traditionally is anarchy, libertarianism. Someone said Ben Shapiro's fake and weak. Art said that, not me. Will the Canadian election be rigged again? I don't know enough about Canada to tell you if it'll be rigged or not, but I've said that Trudeau's on his way out. It's a conservative sweep up there. I think the Conservatives are going to win big time. I think it's all but over for Trudeau. Justin Trudeau. Is Jesus returning soon? Said somebody. I'm not qualified to answer that question. Do you know about the Free State Project in New Hampshire? I do not. I'll trade you my Bob Ross shirt for that painting. Probably not. Someone said libertarianism is not anarchy. I didn't say it. I said right wing is anarchy, left wing is total government control, right wing is no control. So libertarianism would be right wing. It's not the same, but I would say it's on the same side. That makes sense. So I didn't say libertarian. Everyone's like, libertarianism is not, I didn't say it is. I'm just saying it's more right wing. It's not the same thing. Someone said, y'all leave Lil Shapiro alone. YouTube said that. Facebook, I'm just relaying the message. YouTube said it, and I'm saying it to Facebook. I'm just reading comments. Guys, he's the best. What are you talking about? He's top notch. I mean, what better way to stop the refugee crisis than just kill 10 million people and leave a country of 80 billion people with no leader? It's going to work. Nah. Do you listen to any of Joe Rogan's podcasts? Yeah, definitely. But not on the regular. When there's a good guest, I'll listen. Last one I listened to was my man, Hotep Jesus. Someone said, do you have a lazy eye? No, I don't think I have a lazy eye, but it's come to my attention that my eyes are sometimes like, they look like almost cross-eyed. So I don't know if it's the lighting or I just have my eyes kind of just go inside sometimes, but I do not believe it's lazy. What's your favorite tasty cake? I don't know. I haven't eaten a tasty cake in a while. Someone said you got a lazy eye, bro. It's the angle. No, it's part the angle, it's part the lighting, and it's also just my eyes, you know? They do that sexy thing where they just go cross-eyed sometimes. You're like, does he have a problem? Is he, you know? Like, you speculate. You're like, is it lazy? Does he have a health problem? You're like, no. Lisa said beautiful eyes. Thank you, Lisa. I was fishing for a compliment. Not lazy. The other one's just an overachiever. Totally. That's what I'm saying. Like my one eye, you know, went to Harvard and got indoctrinated. And my other eye, you know, it became a YouTube radical. It started watching the radical likes of Tim Pool and Stefan Molyneux and Joe Rogan and the intellectual dark web. And then it just went crazy. It shouldn't have never watched YouTube. Someone said you're looking at two screens at once. Yeah, I'm aware. It's because you're reading the screens. No, my eyes might be legitimately cross-eyed. It's okay, guys. We'll get through it. Some people think they're sexy. I don't care. It doesn't bother me, guys. I actually think it's funny. No, my one friend said that one time. He's like, he's like, your one eye's inward. He's like, you know, it looks good though, like Ryan Reynolds. Like he was trying to butter me up. I was like, what are you saying? I'm cross-eyed. He's like, no, it looks good like Ryan Reynolds. And then I, you know, Googled a bunch of celebrities who have cross-eyed and made myself feel good. I was like, yeah, me, Ryan Reynolds, what's the difference? I can't even tell. These two pictures look identical. It's hate speech. Shut it down. It's racist, sexist, anti-Semitic, xenophobic. It's my DNA, guys. It's all sexist. Someone said I only watch Joe Rogan when Alex Jones, Hotep, and Elon Musk run there. Yeah, I'll watch the classic ones, but I don't watch the other ones. What made you start speaking out to people? I don't know really. Like I've always done it through music, so I would say I've been doing it since 2008 through music, and then I just decided to drop the music at some time. Not drop it completely, but just talk. Tim Pool is my dealer, said Anomaly, thoughts on the USS Liberty and the Levant affair? You read my comment and didn't answer for some reason. All right, first of all, Tim Pool is my dealer. I'm on 2 live streams right now. There's like 50 comments per 20 seconds. So I'm going to read your comment now, but it's an Anomaly, you read my comment, but you didn't answer it. I'm reading 100 comments a minute. Like literally, you're not the only one on YouTube, and there's, you know, 3 times as many people on Facebook saying comments. So I didn't see your comment, or I chose not to answer it, but now I'm going to answer it. I don't know anything about the Levant affair. I'll look into it. I understand USS Liberty was attacked by Israel in the 1900s. I've read its Wikipedia, but I don't know the fullest extent of it, but that's what I know. Congrats, you got your question answered. You know you see my question. You just won't answer it. Someone said, no, I'm saying the guy's name is Tim Pool, is my dealer. I'm not talking to Tim Pool. It's there. Thoughts on Joe Biden? No. At least you're not like Cory Booker and cockeyed. No comment. Trump's tweet was not racist, said Sam. Sama. Sounds like you're a racist, bro. No, I'm just kidding. What was the last thing I ate? A chocolate donut from a coffee shop. I'm not proud about it, but you know, that's all I've eaten today. Someone said cocaine eyes. Are you talking about me or are you talking about Cocaine Mitch? I still can't believe you read part of mine. Yeah, I got you, Scott. Thoughts on the future of America? I mean, like I said, I think some things are written, but also, you know, I can't focus on the negative. I'm trying to make it great. So, I mean, it could end up good. It could end up bad. But overall, you know, let's make it great. Did you watch Graham Hancock on the Joe Rogan Experience? Was that the guy who was the scientist who spoke against climate change? If that was, I did watch him. Very interesting. Some Y girl said, will you marry me? You can message me. Send me a contract. I'll read it over and then get back to you. Someone said, did you fart, dude? No, I didn't fart. That's fake news, bro. If I did fart, I wouldn't have read that and I would have pretended like I didn't see it, but I didn't. So then I read it because it's funny. Someone, Boston cream donuts are crucial. I mean, you know, to each their own. Someone said kombucha with donuts, gross. I didn't drink the kombucha at the same time as the donut. I drank almond milk latte. Okay. I was gonna say cocaine eyes, Cory Booger. All right, let's chill. Jeff said can't make comments on YouTube. Good stuff. Anomaly can't be easy to read 2 different crazy fast live chats on 2 different streams, said Elk Farmer. No, that's a conspiracy theory, Elk Farmer. It's really easy to read, and it's easy to answer 100 comments per minute. And you know, so anybody that attacks me and says Anomaly, you're purposely not reading my comment, they're totally legit. Someone said almond milk is straight depressing. Keep it to yourself, T-Bone Steak. I don't agree. I'm just kidding. Thoughts on the Juggalo Nation? I always thought Juggalos were ridiculous when they were just like throwing Faygo soda on themselves. But I started loving Juggalos when I saw the Insane Clown Posse on Dr. Drew's Love Line, and it was hilarious. So I think Insane Clown Posse is hilarious. And Juggalos, if there's any Juggalos here, let you guys know Juggalo Nation's cool with me. I'm not a Juggalo Nation hater. If you guys want to throw Faygo on yourself, that's fine. You know, we all do a little something funny sometimes, but overall, I'm not they won me over. Ever gonna cut your hair? Yeah, for sure. Someone said arsenic comes from almonds. That's not good. Bitcoin is already a currency by definition. No, it's doing good. You are appreciated, bro. Keep up the spreading positivity. Thank you, Lee. Do you still go to Starbucks? I boycotted since they donated to Hillary. I don't go to Starbucks that much, like every now and then, but I'm not a big Starbucks boy. Will you sing for us? Maybe, not right now. Do you green veggie drink? Sometimes. Someone said my Juggalo roommate stole my lighter. Yeah, I mean, you can't trust the wrong Juggalo. Where are the nipples on the almonds, bro? I feel it. Let's see. Do you play any video games? I haven't played in months. I used to play Rocket League a little bit. I play this game with my brother. I play like my little brother. I play like it's like a phone game. It's not really a video. It's like low quality, but it's really fun. Don't cut your hair, never. I mean, I'm gonna eventually have to cut my hair. I can't just grow it out forever. Do you play any instruments? Yeah, I have a keyboard here. I could play the keyboard. I could play the harmonica. But I played yesterday, and I haven't played in like a year. I had a friend over, and I brought it out, so I had it near me. But I have a keyboard here, but it's not plugged in. But I do play a little bit. I'm not really excellent. I taught myself on YouTube when I was like 20. Thoughts on Hong Kong this week? I know they're going wild. I got to look into it more. I know Hong Kong's rebelling against China in some way. What would a fish taste like if it never came from the ocean? What? Someone said, Rocket League misses you. Thanks, Shane. I would always talk way too much trash on Rocket League. I just think it's funny to like talk a lot of trash. But people got legit mad. Do I have any tattoos? No. Will you be back on Jimmy Church again soon? I was actually thinking about texting Jimmy like today or tomorrow. With all this Area 51 stuff, I should go on this week. I'll talk to Jimmy. Jimmy Church, class act. Great guy. Good friend. So I'll hit him up. Do you know how to use a 3D printer? No. Will you donate your hair when you get it cut? Yes. Do you like astrology? The right kind. A little bit, but I'm not super into it. But I do think there is something there. Do you like Always Sunny in Philadelphia? I haven't watched it in years, but I love Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Very funny show. Great cast. Any updates from the ASAP group? No, they didn't really hit me back, so I'm over it. I lent a hand, and they didn't take it seriously. So, you love me? I don't even see who said that. Let's see. Wesley? I don't know you. Thoughts on Jimmy Dore? I've mentioned him sometimes on here. I think he does great work on Russiagate. I think he does awesome work going against the Democrats. I think Jimmy Dore does excellent videos on a lot of stuff, but the fact that he can't figure out that giving the government more power and taxing taxpayer citizens and still playing a few games with the left wing as far as identity politics. Jimmy's, I think, the best of the best out of the progressives, but it's like a great guy propping up a system of big government, and it's not smart. So I like Jimmy a lot. I think he does really great work, but at the end of the day, I think his political, policies and ideology is a big fail. But I appreciate his work, so, I'll say that. Do you think the market will collapse? I don't know. I said, my boyfriend talks about you a lot, and I've been watching you a little, and you're pretty awesome. Well, thank you. Shout out to your boyfriend. He's a good guy. He's a keeper. Would you buy gold? Maybe. I'm not in a rush to, but maybe. I got to pay for my hospital bills. I got, not to pander, but I got my hospital bill today, and it was like 2 times what they said it was going to be. It's like $1,300 or something. They said it was going to be $600, and no lawyer wants to take my claim. So I might be out $2,000, but it's okay. I'm over it. I could pay it off, and I will. But it was just like, man, that's money I wanted to, I wanted to buy kombucha with that money. Dustin, yep, you can rewind it. This is a pretty good one. It took me a little to get warmed up, but it's a good one. Do I have a dog now? Rick Sullivan said Rothschilds own the Fed. Rick, that's anti-Semitic. Please don't say that in the chat, bro. That's anti-Semitic. I'm gonna tell Ron DeSantis about you. Get you kicked out of Florida. Don't come here talking that anti-Semitism. No, don't. I'm fine, Lisa. I'm not. I just wanted to tell you because I just talk about my day, but I'm fine. If you want to donate, that's fine, but I don't need it. I have, because of Facebook, YouTube, DonorBox, Patreon, and the fact that I saved money before, I'm not hurting. I'll let you know, trust me. If Facebook and everything kicks me off, I'll immediately let you know I'm broke and I need help, but I'm fine. It's not a big deal. I could pay that today if I wanted to. I'm pretty frugal, and I do okay. And I tell you the truth about that. People who make like millions of dollars, they're like, oof, you don't know how much this costs. I'm struggling here. I'm struggling. I'm like, guy, you're a multimillionaire. But I'm not even close to that, but I'm fine. Thanks, Lisa. You're good though. I'm good. Did you paint the picture behind you? No, I bought it. What do you think about Slap City? I don't know. You break your foot kicking ass. I like that, Dan. No, but more embarrassing, but it's okay. Did you know that blame is the root of the word blasphemy? It's crazy to ponder. It's interesting. Blame is the root of the word blasphemy. I will ponder that. anomaly, call the hospital building. They'll drop it down. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do that, but it's fine. I got money. Not bundles and bundles, but I've been paycheck to paycheck before, and I don't buy too much, so I'm okay. Go through every bill. I had a 20K bill and found 2K shouldn't have been charged. I mean, I'll call it, but overall, if I have to, the IRS hit me up yesterday. I paid off my student loans completely the other day too, so I'm fine. How much for the couch? Chris, I'll sell it to you on the spot for 400. Come. Actually, don't come, but Puerto Rican painting. Is that Puerto Rico or no? Are you being racist? No. I just thought that was funny. What shoes you hooping? None right now, but I got the Kyrie Irvings because, Kyrie said the earth was flat, so I went and got the Kyrie Irving Flat Earther 5000s. So I got the Kyries. I don't know what the real name of them are, but those are my shoes. What do you think of the Canadian Prime Minister? I think he's about to lose, eh? I think he's going to lose to a conservative, eh? Congrats on paying off student loans. Yeah, I thought I had already paid it off, but then I found out I still owed $500. So I'm sure I owe someone money still. Don't congratulate me yet. If you were to buy a car today, what would it be? If I were to buy a car, I would buy a Jeep Wrangler and move to Hawaii. I don't like in Los Angeles. It's not a fun place to drive, but I'd like a bigger car, like a truck or Jeep Wrangler, and I'd like to be on an island or like somewhere that's more rural. Are they flat-footed shoes? No, I don't think so, but I have flat feet, so that's what the podiatrist said today. He was like, he's like, your feet are really flat. I was like, I know, bro. Don't make fun of me here. I'm not here for that. And he's like, it's like, your feet are he's like, does your back hurt? I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, yeah, it's because your feet are flat, you loser. You flat-footed duck. I was like, dude. Nah, he didn't say that, but I was like, okay, man. Wranglers aren't Wranglers anymore. Yeah, I'd buy an old one. I'm not gonna buy a car with like a GPS in it. They're like, look, this car drives itself. We can hack you. People keep asking about flat Earth. I talk about it every live stream. I don't want to talk about it today. There's other streams where I talk about it, but it's too much right now. Someone said Roseanne would be your neighbor. I probably could go out and visit Roseanne, but she probably lives somewhere where I wouldn't live. Not that I wouldn't live there. I'm just saying she probably lives somewhere like isolated that I couldn't be her neighbor. But pretty much everyone's a neighbor in Big Island. Shout out Roseanne. She's been chilling all summer, which is awesome. I hope she's having fun and relaxing. But there's gonna be a rap song. I wrote a rap song for her. I'm ready for her to record it. Get in the booth, Roseanne. We got a banger. Someone said, you have a podiatrist? I don't even have a dentist. I don't have a podiatrist. I just went to one and paid him out of pocket. Aloha, dude. Your beard is, whoa, nice. Thank you. It's basically my, I can't really walk, so I'm not doing much of anything beard, but how's everybody's nerves with the shaking going on? We'll see. When are we, Simeon, Cave Creature, says, when are we going to go break Elvis and Tupac at Area 51? Yo, we going to break these chains someday. That's pretty funny. When are we going to break Elvis and Tupac out of Area 51? Yo, we got to break these chains of systemic racism, yo. We got to get Tupac's there. Elvis is there. Who's not there? Someone said Trump banged Trudeau's mom and wrote about it in his book. Is that true, or are you just saying that so I say it? Do you know Old Greg? Yeah, I remember Old Greg. That's funny. That's back when the internet was actually fun. Like, remember when the internet was fun? I'm doing a funny video tomorrow, guys. I got the 5 funniest things. I don't want to ruin it, but like, there's so much clownery going on this year or this week. I got all the best clownery. I look forward to the song with Roseanne. Yeah, I wrote Roseanne like a super rap banger, like just a club banger. It's hard. She was like, I want to rap. She just texted me one day. She's like, I want a rap song. I was like, let's get a rap song then. What are you waiting for? I hit up my producers. I was like, bro, we got to make a song for your girl. I hope Roseanne runs for president again. That was lit. Is Cortez a space vampire hybrid from Area 51? Sounds racist, bro. Get out of here with that systemic racism. Get out of here. That's why I said, oh, you're quoting old Greg. I get it now. I get it. Please, we need more smiles and laughs. That's why I like these live streams. I know they cool down at the end. Not that many people come, but I mean, we still got 700 people or so. But these are more fun. We vibe out. I like it, and I can't walk or do anything. So more clownery, please. I have a good video. I get it, Wesley. I read it. 5G is gonna break our DNA down. It's gonna be dope. Then you're gonna be like Anomaly, and I'm gonna be all over the place. My DNA is gonna be spread thin like peanut butter. You heard? And then you're gonna be like, dang. Everyone's always like, we're made of intergalactic stardust, and they're like, good thing you think that, because we're about to break your whole body down with 5G. Now, I don't know. Just hope for the best, guys. Did Facebook ever pay you? Yeah. So this is the, all right, I'm going to tell you, I think I said it one time, but I'll just say it again. So Facebook paid me the morning I stepped on a spike. The whole reason I went to the beach is because Facebook paid me, and I was celebrating that they gave me the money, and I stepped on a freaking spike that day. So that's like, I was begging for Facebook to pay me. If they never paid me, I never would have stepped on the spike. Like, the timing of life is crazy. So that, yeah, I did get paid. And also I complained about my World Cloud page getting demonetized. So it's actually remonetized. They remonetized it, and I made sure I deleted every video that I didn't own or have permission of, because there were a few I was stretching with, but I was like, you know what? I really want to get this out there. Am I high? No. Not high. I'm fun. I'm actually just fun normally. Doesn't have to be drugs. How many zeros? What? That Facebook paid me? I don't want to get into specific. It was like 30 million. I don't know. Just chump change, donate to me. Come on. Only 30 million. I'm just kidding. Do I like Tom McDonald? Yeah, I messaged him. I'm trying to interview him because I know his record label is screwing with him. Tim said I'm high. I'm going to freak you out, Tim. Hold on. Oh, yeah, Tim? Oh, Tim. Isn't this crazy? Anomaly, Tim. That's like when you're 18. I'm just playing. All right. I'm over it. Someone said Billie Eilish is amazing. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed she's like satanic and demonic now, but I won't hate. Her song Ocean Eyes, it's a beautiful song. It made me want to like get in a relationship and break up and cry about it. Give me those ocean eyes. It's a nice little vibe. You really? All right, that's enough. John said mushrooms are great. All right, let's relax, John. Let's try not to get banned off Facebook. Have you ever smoked salvia, Anomaly? I will say this for the kids at home. Salvia is the dumbest drug ever. Never smoke salvia. It's literally like, I want to say retarded, but and that's not even like a knock on it. It's the dumbest drug ever. Can I call a plant retarded? Is that like unmean? People are like someone. I'm like, I'm not talking about people with mental disability. I'm like, the plant is legitimately retarded. But yeah, it's the dumbest drug ever. Never do salvia. I did it one time because it's legal, and it's the stupidest drug. Like, it's literally like just like doo, and then you're like, oh, and you're like stuck, and then you want to like run out the door. It's so stupid. Don't do salvia. Patrick said you promised you weren't going to sing. Oh well, promises made, promises kept. Any public speaking? Yeah, I'm throwing my own events soon because nobody books me. I mean, that's not true. Some people book me sometimes, but not really. What model camera do you use? I have an iPhone and a MacBook. I saw rock people on salvia. I mean, do what you want to do, but I do think that salvia is a dumb drug. When are you going to record again? I have a new song. I played it one day for on the live stream, but I'm working on a little project with Trevor Wesley, my friend. We're doing a 5-song project. Someone said flat Mars is real. Wink. If you do, please come to Tuscan. Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm working on the live events. I got a nice little team with me. We got a good little team. We're putting them together. I don't want to ruin what the event is until I announce it, but I have a very cool, interesting concept. It's woke. On a serious note, I'm embarrassed of the 4 freshmen. It's all a circus. I would say definitely you can oppose them, but like they won because everyone else is so bad. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's like Nancy Pelosi's like, yeah, racist, brother, and they're like, yeah, racist, and it's like Chuck Schumer's like, I used to be against illegal immigration, but now that I have no problem, and it's like, then they're like, the kid's like, oh, it's a thing. It's all dumb. Don't be mad at AOC. Just somebody fix it. Anomaly, what does card of greed do? I'm not sure what that means. What does card of greed do? Ever use CBD? Yeah, but I don't really feel it. It's like, you know, I get the thing of it, but I'm like a hipster where like I do things and then everyone does them and I'm like, yeah, I'm over it. You know, I always gotta be on the new thing. So like, it's like CBD. Everyone's like, dude, I got CBD. The CBD's in the CBD, in the donut, and the donut's in the CBD, and the CBD's in the donut. It's a CBD donut. And I'm just like, you're doing too much with the CBD, fam. Rick Sullivan said, happy White History Month. That's what Jesse Lee Peterson calls July White History Month. It's pretty funny. And Trevor Wesley has a funny White History Month song. It's very, very good. History Month. Was my Schumer impersonation good? I used to be for immigration, and now that it's popular to be against it, I'll be against it. He's such a little cool guy. He's a really cool guy. You should check out his cousin or his I don't know, niece, Amy Schumer. She's also top notch. What's the painting behind you? Is the painting behind you by you? Yeah, it's a painting. Would you collab with Tom McDonald? Absolutely. Intoxicating Masculinity said, you anti-Semite. Oh, because I made fun of Chuck Schumer. That's why you gotta watch with that term. I know you're joking, but like people don't get it. It's like eventually you're not gonna be able to make fun of Chuck Schumer. They're gonna be like, that is anti-Semitic, and we're gonna open the borders, and you can't do anything about it. They're gonna hide their agenda behind certain Jewish people. It's gonna happen. It's like Ilhan Omar, and they're like, what? You don't like her because of who she is? You're like, no, I'm just not a fan. Not a big fan. Someone said Tom McDonald is the white boy guy. Dude is trash. We all can have an opinion, but I don't think so. Globe skeptic. I've said it before, but you know, I keep my eyes open. You know what I'm saying? I drop seeds. I keep my eyes open. I keep the possibilities open. You know, I watch the debates. I listen. I learn. I look for the edges. You know what I'm saying? I take trips to Antarctica. Just kidding. I don't do that. They're like, oh, Anomaly's coming. Get him. When are you going to do an Epstein video? I already did an Epstein video, guys. I said the realest thing about Epstein. And I have friends texting me that are like, I love him. But he's like, there's all this speculation. Trump's involved. Trump's not. Like, it doesn't matter until they do something about it. I could say these people involved, you gotta keep your eyes on the Justice Department. What are they gonna get them for? Who are they? You know, it's like nothing I say about it actually really matters. Unfortunately, I do get you could talk about it, but you know, I do think at the end of the day that's kind of where we're at. It's like they have to do it. Favorite memory? I don't know. That's an interesting question, but this one right now, this is my favorite. Is Chuck Schumer's wife Steven? Don't get me kicked off Facebook now. Do I write a lot? I used to write music more, but I write a little bit, but not really. I mostly just like plan and just like freestyle it. You know, a lot of my videos, I don't write anything down 99% of the time. I'm just like, I think about it and then I do it. Being alive is a great memory for sure. Make some more songs, man. I got some stuff. I have a really sick rap I want to do, but I don't want to do it yet. You get what I'm saying? I'm working on stuff. All right, we'll do like 10 more minutes and I'm gonna roll out. This is fun though. I got a lot of energy too. I swear that's some truth to drink. Drink it. Did I freeze on YouTube or is it just my computer? How much do I make from YouTube? Not nearly as much as you probably think I do. Facebook's where I make more money now because I have more followers and views. Hey, who is that? Marianne, what's going on? Thanks for joining. Hope it wasn't too bad at work. Hopefully it's better here. You ever go visit Trekka? No, I haven't gone to Syria, but I love Trekka. He's a legend. Your Facebook is on top of your stream. What did you say? Someone said I lived in the Caribbean. I told you what happened. Oh, Facebook is on top of your stream. Literally any kind of bad thing that they send you this crazy message. Really? What do you mean? Oh yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I don't really say that much. I'm pretty funny. I'm dangerous to Facebook won't classify me dangerous because I'm not like a fool. Like I don't just, and I'm not hateful. There are people, you have to understand. There are people on the right wing that are legitimately hateful. I agree with like, not on everything, but you know, we have our, I mean, I don't want to say that, but Jesse Lee Peterson, I love what he said. Like he preaches no anger. He's like, I don't have anger. Of course, you're going to get mad sometimes. And, you know, people will have elements where they get mad. That's, you know, natural for a lot. But I don't believe in like hating all the time. So, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of right wingers actually do hate. A lot of left wingers do hate. But they'll probably try to say I'm hateful eventually, but I'm not. But, you know, I'm dangerous to them because I'm mostly collected, you know, to the point. I don't, you know, but that's what they do. They go for the crazy people and then they go for the hateful people and then they work their way down to me. You ever made your own kombucha? No, I'm not that big of a hipster. I would love to be that big of a hipster, but I'm not there. Like I need to keep drinking oat milk and you know, almond milk and cashew milk and kombuchas, and one day I'll be a good enough hipster to make my own kombucha. A lot of right-wing people seek hyper-rationally or pragmatic. That comes off as hateful. No, I agree for sure. But you get what I'm saying? Like, I'll give you an example. Someone asked me about Dan Crenshaw. I don't agree with his foreign policy, but Dan Crenshaw is a good communicator. He's good at going on these shows and getting the message across about border security without sounding like a total lunatic. Dan Crenshaw, I'll give him credit for that. He's one of the best. He's the best Republican I've ever seen, even though he's new at that. Most of them are not that good. They just get in a group of 100 and scream, "Bail down, wall, bail down, wall." Like, that's fine if you want to do that, but you get what I'm saying? The Dan Crenshaw approach is way more effective most of the time. When you can keep your calm and your rationality and be considerate and speak to people like you're not just screaming at them, a lot of right-wingers can come across hateful because they're pragmatic, but also I do think it's true. A lot of right-wing leaders have horrible communication skills, and it's almost like they're purposely trying to be unlikable. You know, it's like or they don't know how, or they're not. But you know, I don't know what it is. Like everyone's got different pros and cons. But as far as leadership in the Republican Party, most of them don't know how to communicate. Crenshaw's like the only one that I've seen that is actually impressive with that. Someone said faded, cool video. Yeah, that back in my old days. Raw cow milk is where it's at, man. I'll look into it. I don't know if I could fit a cow in my building. How's your foot anomaly? I spoke about it earlier, but I know you just got off work. It's okay. I went to the podiatrist and it's fractured. I guess it fractured a bone. So I can't really walk for like 4 more weeks. That's the bad news, is it's a minor fracture. But the good news is it should fully heal back to full health. I'm trying to get this fool to talk about the moon. I have a whole video That's the funniest part with the moon stuff. People accuse me all the time. They're like, Anomaly never talks about the moon. Anomaly won't talk about the moon because he's a shill. Guys, I have one of the biggest videos on Facebook, if not the biggest video about the moon. 10 million views, hundreds of thousands of shares, literally woke up millions of people talking about all of the suspicious things around the moon. And then I just say, think what you want to think. I've talked about it 2 years ago, and I talk about it every live stream. I don't mind talking about it, but when people are like, Anomaly is purposely ignoring my comment because he doesn't want to talk about the moon. Or sometimes people will be like, dude, finally, you figured it out. Like, congrats, you just got there. I'm like, dude, I did this 2 years ago. And like Meow Mix said, it's obviously made of cheese. End of this discussion. It's all cheese. It's made of cheese. Brandon said it. Cheese, cheese, cheese. It's vegan cheese. The moon is vegan cheese, not cow's milk, murder cheese. We're talking vegan cheese made from cashews. You dang meat eaters. Wiggly, guys, you guys got the most ridiculous names on YouTube. Wiggly Biggly says, Area 51 diversion, Seth Rich Epstein, wall going up. I mean, there's a number of things that they're probably, they don't even need. That's the crazy thing is, I don't want to be a hater, but I've been watching, a little Shapiro just to like always see the counter argument, and he was critiquing Trump. That's fine, but he said on the show, he's like, the worst thing about he's like, the worst thing about what Trump said is that he just changed the whole news cycle. He's like, now nobody's going to cover the ICE shooting and everyone's going to cover him. I'm like, Ben, what planet do you live on? They would not have covered I'm not saying that maybe conservative media will follow suit now, but liberal media doesn't talk about that stuff. No matter, like, even when there was no scandal during the New Mexico compound situation, they didn't cover it. So it's like in Ben Shapiro's little head, he's like, the reason that liberal media is not covering the ICE shooting is because Trump said a tweet. And it's like, dude, that's not true. So overall, maybe, and I do think it is some sort of like programming diversion, but they don't even need a big story to hide another story. They have unlimited, they'll talk about the Mueller report for 3 years. They're like, breaking news, Robert Mueller, #Mueller time, said that maybe he might say something in 4 weeks to have a press conference about having another press conference where he's going to say something that might possibly be very important. An alleged unsourced United States federal worker told him to tell you that he may possibly know an alleged worker who's a source unnamed is going to talk to Congress. And they're like, oh my goodness. That's like, so Cortez is not annoying to you? Oh no, she's ridiculously annoying. She might possibly be one of the most annoying people I've ever seen in politics. I'm not saying she doesn't annoy me. I just like, I don't know. She's not the root of why she's there for a reason. And it's not because of her. Thoughts on keto? I heard it works. I'm not fully in it, but Epstein Island is going to be nuts. We'll see. Guys, please don't hate on Ben Shapiro on my YouTube. Any criticism of Ben Shapiro is anti-Semitic. Don't do it. I'm just kidding. That's the thing I kind of point out, where it's like sometimes people say something like with Shapiro, I'm like, people always say to me like he's saying that liberal media would have covered that if Trump. That's not even true. It's kind of like with what was I gonna say? I just blanked. I had another thing. Yang. It's like Yang says something and then he says something and everyone's like, whoa, Yang's pretty real. They're like, Yang's really making some sense here. Like a lot of Republicans. I'm like, dude, what he said made no. He's like, listen, we've already lost millions of trucking jobs. He's like, eventually we're gonna lose call service jobs in the United States. I'm like, bro, when's the last time you've called anybody and gotten somebody in the United States? They're all gone. And even with the trucking jobs that left, like he's like, these jobs have already left and it's a huge crisis right now. I'm like, dude, we have 1 million more jobs available. Like Lyft, Uber, you like these things have popped up. Count how many Lyft drivers there are. Count how many Uber drivers there are. Now combine it with Postmates and every other rideshare service. It's going to be more than the 3 million trucking jobs that were lost. I'm not saying that technology might have a problem. He's right about certain things, you know, that it should be talked about, but he'll be like, this already happened. But he's like, you know why the life expectancy is going down? And I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, you have opioids, you have a bad like there's millions of reasons bad health, bad mental health, definitely drugs are a huge thing to do with it. Like youth drugs are up. He's like, the reason people are dying is because middle-class people can't find a job, so they just kill it. Like, you're like, that's not why people are dying. That's like it's always about his agenda. He's like, the reason that people are dying at a faster rate has nothing to do with unemployment. Nothing. Literally nothing. And he's like, that's the main reason. Like, so, but then people were, but dude, the AI. And I'm like, but if somebody lies and then they tell you something that's kind of true, it's like the process there just doesn't make sense to me. Are people media trained these days? I don't know what you mean. So said, I like Ben Shapiro. I like listening to him. He's very informative. I listen to who you want. I'm not a hater. There's very many valid points, but there's certain people that it's like they hit you with like truth, and then it's like the big lie to get you running in the wrong direction. That's my thought on him, but it's all good. There's a lot of great stuff he does. I'm not trying to. Dinesh rocks. Yeah, I like him and his daughter too. His daughter's cool. I don't know if I met her. She followed me on Instagram, but jobs everywhere? No. Jobs are disappearing, and that's why that's why the life expectancy is down. So now you need $1,000 a month from Yang Gang. All right, Zane Arnold. This is gonna get me in trouble. No. So real talk, is multiculturalism destructive to diversity? Should we live in nations with unique cultures or take the melting pot approach? Here's my thing with America. I differ from maybe the far right. I think multiculturalism and immigration is fine if you have certain rules about it. We did it somewhat successfully for a while, and it's still okay for the most part. But when you do a lottery system, instead of getting the best of the best, it's not the play. When you let in 30 million illegal people or 20 million illegal people, instead of documenting and make sure, like, it needs to be strict. Like what they do in Asia and China is they let immigration, but they're very strict about it. They don't play the refugee or illegal thing at all. And that's why Japan is still very, very safe. They'll let you immigrate, but it's like you have to be a functioning part of their society. So I think there's elements of multiculturalism that don't work, but there's, blessings involved too if you do it right. The problem is Europe and Canada and America, we're doing it wrong. And if you suggest to do it right, they call you racist. So I think it's okay. Like, I think there should be places where people can live, like even the segregationists. I'm not a segregationist. I'm far too mixed, and I have too much, I like people of all different race, religions, and genders, or, all 10,000 genders. But if people want to live in certain countries by themselves, I don't really have a problem with it. Like, if you want to do that, you can do that. And then there can be a place that's a melting pot. It doesn't really bother me, but the way we're going about it is probably not the right way. But I don't think multiculturalism is bad. I just think the way we've done it is not right. Like, a lot of people come to America, they're Iranian, they're African, they're Puerto Rican, all these things. Well, Puerto Rican is part of America, but they come and they want to be part of America. I've met Iranian immigrants, I've met African immigrants, I've met Middle East, like South America, and they love America. That's awesome. To me, that's fine. I'd rather that than the self-hating American-born person. So, and at a certain point, I think that's what they did. Illegal immigration is awful, and you got to vet refugees. I would rather have an approach like Asia and take none rather than take 100,000 or 500,000 people and 100,000 of them are bad. That, it's like you can't really put a number on it, but I I would much rather a very strict system, and I think it works fine if you have a, like same with a club. Like if you have an all white club, or like if you segregate a club, you might find patterns in crime at certain clubs, obviously. But if you have a no BS policy at the club where it's like, you can be this race, you can be this religion, but you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. And if you do this one time, you're getting kicked out. That club would be fine. There's, I've been to all sorts of like classier places, never have problems. Places that aren't classy have problems constantly. So I think that's kind of the key is having rules, sticking to them, and not like now in America, liberals are like, well, like they don't care. They don't want people to follow like the right path. They want people to be awful. It's like if you're good, they hate you. If you're awful, they'll protect you and give you a victim card. Just follow rules, follow rules that make sense and benefit everybody. I'm going to read my man, Sama Abdel Wahab. He said, I immigrated to the US. I stood in line. I think illegal immigration is bad for America. I can't count the amount of friends I have from Pakistan, from South America, who came here legally. They're awesome. They're functioning members of society, and they can't stand illegal immigration. So I would rather 20 of you, my brother, than like it makes no sense. And it's a slap in the face. Like, I don't know your story specifically, but I know my buddy, he's got good people in Pakistan who can't come to America because there's a lottery system. So they'll take 100 people at random rather than go best of the best or people who deserve it. It's like, it's awful. And America, like I do think that America is a beautiful place but they've exploited that in the name of whatever it is. And it's so far gone that it needs to be dragged back to the right. And if you drag anything right, they scream at you and call you racist, sexist, and xenophobic. It's very bad because it's going to lead to somebody far, far right, further right than Trump eventually. And it's not going to be pretty. Do you do a podcast? Make America Debate again, but not consistently. Someone said, is that you, Richard Spencer? Why is what I said Richard Spencer? Because I said I like people of every race, religion, and gender if they follow rules and come here legally. That's not what Richard Spencer says. He's anti-other or doesn't want other races here. Very different. I'm not even allowed in the Richard Spencer ethno state. I don't think I'm Puerto Rican, and I think I have too much Hispanic. I'm kicked out. I'd have to go. I'd have to pack my bags. Show us the foot. Nah, it's wrapped up. YouTube is like growing now. I want the couch. I mean, we'll sell the couch eventually. Further left, not right. Luck. Mama Sahib said, America is the best country in the world. Literally, don't stop fighting illegal immigration. It's what a lot of illegal immigrants feel. Took a machete to the leg. Sheesh. Hello, is this live? Hello, Sandy. Thank you, Gigi. Ow. Sorry, my foot's starting to hurt. Thank you, David. All right, we'll take one more. Yeah, I'm selling the couch. I'm selling it. Thoughts on Amash leaving the GOP? Go away, bro. Get him out of here. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up. We'll wrap it up. Are you related to Frank Zappa? No. All right, thank you guys for joining. As always, I'm gonna just do a few plugs. Sign up to my free email list. It's either pinned to the top or it's in the description on YouTube or both. You can figure it out. Look for my free email list and sign up. It's 100% free. I'll let you know when there's live events or when we're doing something. It's going to be very fun. And then, of course, I have my other stuff if you want to support. I have my Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litcoin links. People are always like, no, do you do that? Yeah. If you would like to support that way, it's fine. If not, other ways. But if you don't do anything, feel free to do that. Just sign up to my free email list, please. I'm trying to build a big email list just in case anything happens. And then when we do live events, and I promise you, I always say this, but it's true, I'm the least annoying email list. I hate emails every day, every week, every month. I do it like once every couple months. I'm not going to bore you with like annoying sales all the time. I'm going to send one one a month max, maybe one every couple months. Only the important stuff when I get censored or something bad happens. So let me know. What kind of life background do you come from? We can get into that in a different stream. But I'm going to take off. I'll be back tomorrow, but hopefully I'll have a nice clean video with a nice background tomorrow, because I have a good idea. So hopefully I'll film it and edit it. It's going to take like 6 hours, but I got time. All right. Thank you guys. God bless you. God bless your family. God bless America, and God bless the world. I appreciate you. And thank you so much for the love and support, the shares on Facebook, the whatever the heck you crazy people do on YouTube. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you guys. I appreciate that I'm able to get my foot hurt, get pretty expensive hospital bills, and I'm able to do it smoother than I would probably be able to with a job. If I had a normal job, not only am I paying $2,000 in like medical fees, but then they'd be like, you can't work, you can't walk, you can't do this. I'm able to heal myself without, it does suck not being able to do videos, but it's like I'm not losing money at work. I am actually losing money here, but you get what I'm saying. I'm able to actually afford it, and it's a beautiful thing. That's why I'm not complaining that much, because I've been in a lot more dire situations, and this is not one. Thanks to your guys' help, support, and views and shares and stuff. So God bless you guys.